How you doing, everybody? Brian Sr. here. If you are a true blue, red-blooded, liberty-loving, Bible-thumping, gun-toting, truth-seeking, fed up with the status quo, tyranny-smashing, tossing the tea overboard, American patriot, agent of change, then you are in the right place. We're going to put our heads together. We're going to do what Americans do best. We're going to solve problems. We're going to educate one another. We're going to encourage one another as we lift up our families, our friends, our neighbors, and our country. The American dream lives here. So today we have a very special guest. We have a one-on-one interview with Sheriff Richard Mack from the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. He was a featured speaker at a rally in Temecula, California this weekend. And as he was wrapping up his day, getting ready to leave, he was kind enough to agree to a short interview with us. So we didn't get too deep into the weeds on some of the heavier issues, but like I said, he was getting ready to leave, and he just had a few minutes for us. So I took advantage of it and just asked him a few questions. And so this is the interview. I'm going to post his full speech next week, but I thought I would take the time now to post the one-on-one interview. And without further ado, Sheriff Richard Mack. How you doing, everybody? Brian Senior, Political Truths 832. I'm here today in Temecula, California with Sheriff Richard Mack. He just gave a speech. There was a rally here today that was awesome. A lot of great speakers, a lot of great patriots that showed up, and we are all coming together finally with a common goal. So this is a good time to be alive in America today. So Sheriff Mack, thank you for taking the time today. Is there anything that's going on right now, like great successes that you've had recently that you'd like to share with everybody?
Yeah, actually I would. The sheriffs of America are starting to stand against their own governors, against the unconstitutional, dictatorial, Hitleric orders from governors that think that for some crazy reason we have dictators in America.
Yeah.
The very thing we fought World War II to stop, they now want to do all on their own, no problem. They can be Lenin, they can be Stalin or Hitler, it doesn't matter. And it really breaks my heart to see that some cops and sheriffs have actually gone along with that. Most of them have stood against these governors, these self-appointed dictators, and I love seeing that.
Yes.
Even Sheriff Jones from Sacramento County did it against Newsom. And I admit that it's easy to go against Newsom because he's such a tyrant, but all the sheriffs need to be doing this.
Yes.
We need 50, 60, 70, 80% of the sheriffs to stand for liberty. And all the sheriffs have to do is one simple thing. You took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. There is nothing that you could do as sheriff that supersedes that oath.
Right.
Nothing. No statute, no order from the governor supersedes the Bill of Rights or the Constitution or the oath that you took when you became sheriff, and when you took any job in law enforcement, you swore that oath. How is it that any of you think you don't have to keep it?
Yeah, I think part of that is that there's so many people in America today that are completely ignorant of the Constitution. And that's why it's encouraging to see guys like Douglas up here that are out there teaching the word of the Constitution so that we can all know that.
Yeah.
What are the biggest obstacles that you face right now?
Ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, because most cops have just been trained, like in the movies and television shows and within their own departments, to follow statutory law and enforce traffic codes, enforce the drug laws, stop DUIs, have DUI checkpoints, which are clearly unconstitutional, and asset forfeiture, which is clearly unconstitutional. And so why is it that law enforcement becomes part of the problem? And so, yes, there's an easy solution to all of this. Follow the Constitution. You can't take an oath to something and never have read it.
Yes.
And so taking the oath presupposes that you will study the Constitution so you can indeed uphold it, defend it, and obey it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So I was wondering, have you heard of the California State Assembly Bill 271? Have you heard what they're trying to do in California?
No, I have not heard of it.
oh man, I don't even know if I should tell you. You might blow your hat up into the atmosphere. They're trying to take away all the requirements that are in place currently to run as a sheriff, so that any fool, any politician can run for that. What are your thoughts on that sort of a thing? And to me, is that something that maybe is a preemptive strike against your movement?
It could be a little bit, but let me tell you this. Arizona, for you to run for sheriff, all you have to be is 18 years old and a registered voter.
Really?
And I agree with it.
Oh, really?
Let the people choose who they may. You get all these requirements that you have to be a certified peace officer. That's kind of an Incumbent Protection Act. If you know and understand the Constitution and you're a very good administrator, then you can be sheriff. Okay? You don't have to have law enforcement experience. You probably need an undersheriff that is law enforcement experience. You have 50 officers below you that are law enforcement, but a sheriff is an administrator, and he's the chief executive of the county. That's okay.
Yeah.
Let the people decide who their sheriff is, not the state statute.
Okay, well, that surprised me. I didn't think you would take that point of view, but that's good, though. I mean, we all have it's good to hear different points of view and different perspectives on things. That's awesome. Let's see. Would you consider running for office again, or have you found your niche?
I've run for Congress 3 times now. Mm-hmm. I will not do that again. And this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I travel the country training the American people and sheriffs and public officials and peace officers how to keep your oath and how to really protect the people that hired them. And so it's a very daunting job. I love it. And I'm really appreciative of how many sheriffs have been open to me and to the Constitution and to the people they serve.
Have you talked to Chad Bianco or John McMahon here in San Bernardino and Riverside County?
I haven't talked to McMahon. I've talked to Bianco, and I want to reach out to Bianco right now and ask him to call me. That I really need to talk to him. And there seems to be some antagonism between him and me, and I want to nip that in the bud. I think he's a good man, and I want to work with him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I voted for him, and he immediately restored our Second Amendment constitutional rights to keep and bear arms and concealed carry permit. So I think that's a great thing. So hopefully you guys can find some common ground.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
I appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, very inspiring speech today. I was thrilled with it. I'm going to post it on Political Truths 832. And thank you for being here today, and thank you for standing up for us.
Thank you, Lord.
Appreciate it. Brian Senior, Political Truths 832. I am out.